So, good morning everyone. Maayong gabi sa tanan, especially shout out to sa mga Bisaya. I'm so excited that we're able to celebrate our 50th, although virtually, but thanks to technology that we're able to do this. And it's such a privilege to share my story to all of you. Um, while I was preparing this my story, I'm still amazed on how God works in our lives. And most especially when we witness how he uses friends, family members, ordinary people, and even our enemies, placing them at the right place at the right time to carry out an ultimate rescue plan. For me, it was not my enemy or a person I dislike. It was my cousin. Um, he just invited me, casually to come with him to a fellowship center of a startup church. There, I found Jesus, and I was on fire to spread the word, in the Divisoria in Cagayan de Oro, and even the high school campus of the Ateneo de Cagayan. And immediately, just few days later, that fire started dying slowly. I mean, first thing was when I came home, my dad told me that I was brainwashed. I got converted, but it wasn't, God. I was just brainwashed by this pastor. And on top of that, immediately when, that weekday I went to school, my Jesuit teachers warned me that to be careful sharing my faith in the campus. So why am I telling you the beginning of my faith journey? I believe that this is the foundation of where God has put me in means. Let's skip 2 years after my conversion. That's when I started college at the University of San Carlos in Cebu City. I was angry with God after knowing that my parents decided to end their marriage. I drifted fast away from God, and the fire was fully extinguished. Let's skip 2 years. I came to Chicago with my sister and grandma to join my mother, continued and finished my college education through my mom's hard work. He fully financed my education, and a shout out to my mom. Thank you, mother. My life was cruising along, and I worked as a construction worker, babysitter, as a restaurant dishwasher, and later a sole driver owner of a carpooling business. That was the early concept of Uber. I remember that weekends and weekdays were booked around my school schedule. I was equipped with a pager, a bag of quarter coins for payphone, and that 1980 Toyota Corolla that I inherited after it was stolen and recovered. It was originally my mom's, and through referrals, I had lots of friends who are my regular customers. I was earning lots of money. Later on, there was one customer that surprised me. When she got into my car, she started a conversation right away. Got to know with each other, and after a few minutes during that ride, she immediately told me that she knows a girl who will be perfect for me. It's like, but I wasn't surprised to hear that at that time because I knew my mom was advertising me to everyone she knew to find me a girl. I didn't see a halo above her head. I only saw dollar sign because she was my carpool customer. But looking back, I could see halo above her head and felt God had ordained her to be my passenger and a messenger of God that day. And by the way, I'm not talking about Leah. That wasn't Leah, but that was her family friend, Myrna. So, after we arrived at her place, she immediately called Leah, introduced me through the phone. And from then on, like we became phone pals for over a year. And, fast forward over a year after, um, I met Leah in person, after driving around an hour to Wakanda from Chicago. That's around an hour. And we started the day when we met. She took me to the campus of Willow Creek Community Church. And, I also have to mention that we watched the movie Braveheart that night. The following weeks, she started taking me to midweek services of Willow Creek Church. Little that I knew, that was her way of testing me or testing the right man for her life. I kept going with her during the midweek services. I enjoyed her company. But during that first month we met, she also invited me to go to Amin's third Saturday workday, which was at the Lonzaga's residence or basement in Tinley Park. I could not remember the details of the first Means workday. All I cared that time was, I was impressing Leah. And of course, the great food in Means. Then the second Means workday, although Leah had to work on that Saturday, I still decided to join the workday without her. That was one of the memorable time when the Means volunteers put me in a hot seat, grilled me with questions, which one really stood out. They asked me, what is my intention with Leah? I explained to them that, I had good intentions. And, I won't be messing around with Leah. And at the same time, that started the steering of my heart. I realized that, or I began to question myself, like, why am I in Means? And, for the next few work days, there are mission visits and partners would, join the workday. And that's how I started to learn more about Means and realizing that here I can use the talents that God has given me. So, we've been going together to Means. It was also a great time to spend with Leah, driving, at least 3 hours in a weekend, going to Means and dropping off Leah back to her place in Wakanda. And, around that time, I see people, like I ran across people in Jewel, grocery store in the US, would invite me to fellowship. At the same time, inviting me to what I felt like God calling me to go back to faith, because I realized that they were inviting me to Bible studies and to attend a church service. So, God was already working on me. Fast forward, Leah and I got married, and after a year we got married. We were expecting to have Hannah, but God had other plans, and ended up Hannah in a stillbirth. So a week after that incident, we just drove west as far as we can, and this one newly developed subdivision pop up into our eyes. And we decided to have a home in Huntley. And at the same time, we also decided that, God has been good to us, has blessed us. And we decided also to offer our basement to Means. So from then, the other reason of offering our basement was also a convenience for me, because I was setting up the computers during a work day, and driving to Tinley Park, more than an hour. So we have to be there earlier than everybody else to set up the computers. So fast forward, we started to have a family in our first home, the first Means office in Huntley. And we're just so blessed that how people around us, especially our Means family, had contributed to our life, and to our faith journey, especially to me, because Means family has been supportive in prayers. Like when we lost our first baby, Atalina and Carmena were there, and we moved to this first house. The Means family was the majority were our movers. So we were so excited to move into the new home, and fast forward, our family was growing, and then also Means was growing. We saw a bigger home development just next subdivision to that house. So we decided to again offer that basement. And it's just amazing how God has worked in our lives, and how God has provided me talents and technical knowledge and opportunities that allowed me to use this knowledge to improve Means in terms of technology. And it's not just it's just a great blessing to be a volunteers of Means. We're so blessed with great jobs, but I would say my job is secondary to Means. Like Means is like a full-time job for me. So now with Means still growing, and I'm just so excited to see younger volunteers coming in, and most of all, I can see how it affects my kids. They see serving more and more through a Means work day. And also they're I just hope and pray that their passion will continue to grow towards service, not just in Means, but in any aspect of their lives. So it's just amazing how how different people has come into my life. Like the family friend Myrna. God has put Myrna at that time to bring me back to the Lord, because I was drifting. Came here to the U.S. without going to church, and I just realized that all those times, through Myrna, through Leah, God has worked through my life, brought me back to faith. And then, now in Means, being used with my talents and contribute to Means. So I would like to thank the people who played the major role in my journey in life. my father, who provided me the first computer and sparked the interest in technology and developed my self-learning skills. My mother, who loves me and allowed me to join her in the US and sacrifice to put me in college. And then, like my cousins, Mark, who helped wired our, first Means office, the Means family, the prayers and their dedication to partnering with our family, and to Lina and Carmena, who were always there, when when Leah and I got married, when we lost our first baby, and the prayers through the years. And to my cousin, I'm not sure if he's online. I invited her, Leo or Nanding. He's the one who invited me to the fellowship in the Philippines, Don Mariano Marcos Polytechnic School. Without him inviting, I don't know where I am now. And also, like in our background, you're seeing our Means office. I would like to give a shout out to Amadeo, who did the hard work of finishing the Means office. But not only him, but the other volunteers too. Neil provided me the tile cutter, finished the whole floor, tiling with that cutter, and then the muscle and insights of Kuya Ken and Edwin helping, taking down the cabinets of kitchen of Means now, and then for the rochas, and to the other volunteers who help us out. So I would like to thank everyone, especially to the Means partners for being here. And I just want to thank you for, giving me this privilege to be able to help you guys out there in the Philippines and in Thailand and, all over. So thank you, and thank you again.
Thank you, Kuya Bong. We're very much blessed with your story. There are some revelations. We thought we were listening to story of love, but then you were assigned to tell us about story of faith, and we believe that all things work together for your own good. You know, from the beginning up to now. So we see, and we see that you're lifting up the name of the Lord through your, through your life. So we thank you once again.
And then just shout out again, you and Kuya Ken were the backbone of the technology of Means of what we have now. So it's nice for our audience and our ministry partners to finally recognize you and see the face behind the technology and how we operate. So it's nice that they finally met you virtually. And thank you for all you do, Kuya.
And then for the viewers, Kuya Bong is at the Means office right now. That's where we do our, work day before the pandemic. So if Kuya, is it okay if you can show us?
Sure.
Okay.
All right.
Nice. There you go.
Kitchen was I was talking about.
Nice.
We used to go upstairs, the kitchen, but it will be fully functional when we're back, hopefully soon or sooner. And then all the computers, printers, and it's now ready for our work day. And it's just so surreal that it's set up, but we need the volunteers over here, hopefully soon.
All right.
Okay, thank you, Kuya Bong.
Thank you, Kuya Bong.
And then I mentioned